witness to technology and other phenomena here on Earth that we can't explain? Science fiction writer and mathematician Vernor Vinge, credited with initiating the concept of a singularity or intelligence explosion awaiting us in the near future, has often made statements along these lines, alluding to circumstances that would represent the arrival of the new superintelligent future humanity, or artificial intelligence, or maybe even a complex combination of the two. During a recent interview with i09.com, Vinge was asked what kind of circumstances might alert us to the fact that we could have already gone through a sort of singularity. Among his answers was this curious little tidbit: when things begin to happen in the real world that no human has any explanation for. Of course, among the readers of this blog, most of us are already thinking, wait, what do you mean when that happens? Those kinds of things are happening right now. In truth, this has been happening for quite some time. But what, pray tell, could this actually mean? Have the aliens landed, or have interdimensional invaders finally bridged the gap between worlds? Or just perhaps, could it mean that there is a sort of divergence of intelligent species right here on Earth? Writing for the Kurzweil newsletter recently, Amara D'Angelica asked, though slightly tongue-in-cheek, about whether a super-secret U.S. singularity project might be underway. A covert hard, fast takeoff has already happened underground, she presented within the context of a hypothetical QAnon, and the resulting superintelligence has been sort of slowly leaking out, like the radioactivity at Fukushima Daiichi going into the ocean. While she poses her statements partially in jest, this represents one of the few times, if not the only time, that I've come across media associated with an idea my colleagues and I have expressed in our close circles for some time now: the notion of a localized technology explosion, carried out in secret by a small group of individuals. Of course, I've postulated my own ideas regarding what I call a localized singularity here at Mysterious Universe, also taking into consideration and taking heat regarding the rather clandestine notion that suppression of certain technologies over the last several decades might have been utilized by certain groups in upper echelons. Keep in mind, this is entirely speculative, of course. But such activity could have occurred for purposes of advancing a small group of individuals toward a superhumanity, aided by the most advanced technology one could imagine that's present here on Earth already. But this is already old hat, of course, since we've been seeing these sorts of things already for decades. After all, wouldn't UFOs fall with these into Vinge's justifications of things in the real world that no human has any explanation for? Following this logic, one is hardly provided with potential answers for mysteries like UFOs, of course. If anything, more questions begin to arise. For instance, how the hell could there ever have been highly advanced aircraft of the caliber described in many of the early UFO reports, especially those recounted by Project Blue Book, etc., if that technology had its genesis here on Earth, let alone several decades ago? The implications, while speculative, are both thought-provoking and unsettling. If there could, in fact, be some terrestrial basis for many reports of UFOs and other strange phenomenon, the underlying mystery might not be quite so simple as secret government aircraft. Indeed, the bigger picture might entail the emergence of an entirely different kind of intelligence. Something far removed from what most of us know or could conceive at present. Far out, yes. Perhaps even far-fetched. But it doesn't hurt to try thinking outside the proverbial and frankly, quite stale extraterrestrial box that has kept most UFO-oriented minds locked away for so long already.